Hey, what's up, everyone? This video, we're going to look at the early slate for Wednesday. We have an 8-game early slate on Draftkings. FanDuel is completely different with their early slate is starting at 12 o'clock. We'll talk about Draftkings in this one. So let's get right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe before we get started. At pitcher, you have one guy that stands out above the rest. I shouldn't even have to explain it. You have one ace, which is Garrett Cole. It's going to be hard not to play him on Draftkings where you need two pitchers, and let me tell you, it's not an exactly pretty slate for pitching, except for Garrett Cole, where you're getting a guy that's facing a Rockies team that's very bad outside of Coors. Even in Coors, they haven't been very good lately. Cole has incredible strikeout stuff, 216 strikeouts on the year. Just been super consistent. Look at all the times he's gone at least 7 innings. He goes 6-7 innings, almost all of his starts. He throws a lot of pitches, over 100 most of the time. Ton of strikeout upside. And this Rockies team does strike out a decent amount. Love him at 11.9. And then if you're looking for an SP2, this is where things get tricky. Not going to be playing Flaherty. McKay's fine, although he's expensive at 8,500. Quintana's decent, but if it's the wind, it might be blowing out a little bit, so never want to play a pitcher in a Wrigley wind game. I think Plesac's a decent play here at 7,700. Although if you play Plesac, you're looking at 3,800 left for your hitters. Not a ton to work with. I think I'll just kind of go down at all the way and go with Anderson again. He's a decent pitcher. Not expecting him to go out and have a huge game or anything. 2 out of his last 4 starts he's played in Coors. So it's a much better spot here going back at home in San Francisco. Great park to pitch in. The Nationals don't have a high total or anything. Their total is like a mid-4 right now. Definitely work with that here. He goes like 4 or 5 innings. He's gone 5 innings and 3 straight starts. He does give up a decent amount of hits, and last start he didn't have any strikeouts in the 5 innings, but that's something that's never happened to him besides that start. I think he can have a couple strikeouts here and just be a decent pitcher at 4,800 on a slate where we need some value, and it's hard to come by, especially at pitcher. So yeah, I'm going to go with him and Garrett Cole. And if Garrett Cole gets me like 35, it doesn't matter if Anderson gets me like 10 or 15. And then for stacks today, I kind of go back to the Indians. Luckily got off of them with the weather, but they're cheaper. And they're cheaper than they were yesterday. It's a great sign, and they're still facing the same pitcher. So like the Indians here on this early slate, I think this game is probably going to be pretty appealing for bats. You got 2 lefties facing off against 2 of the best teams in baseball, 2 of the best offenses in baseball against left-handed pitching. So both of those offenses, I like them quite a bit. The wind is blowing out here. Look at the Cubs stack against Bailey a little bit. And that's kind of it. There's not a ton that sticks out for hitting on this early slate. And then if you want to, take your share of 2 bad offenses against 2 bad pitchers, this game is for you, this Tigers game. But I'll probably stick with the Indians, and there was another team that I liked. And this Atlanta Twins game. So let's start off here at third base with Jose Ramirez. Very cheap here at 4,100. Love the huge price discount on him. He's been very good as of late. He's struggled a little bit the last week or so, but I think he's bound to get back on track. Before he was in a little bit of a slump here. I mean, he's still hitting the ball, he's still getting hits, but he's not having huge scores. But here against Eduardo, I think he's going to be able to do some damage. He also hasn't got a chance to steal any bases lately, and he has 22 stolen bases on the year, so definitely can add to that. You're getting like a $700 discount from his last price, and the matchup is much better, and the pitcher is much worse. We'll go with him here at third base. Love the price tag on him. Forgot to talk about second base, but second base is going to be Albies for me. Ozzy Albies at 4,600. Facing Perez. Martin Perez has kind of slowed down a little bit. He's definitely cooled off. I love Ozzy Albies whenever he's facing a lefty. On the Braves, when they're facing lefties, I'm looking at Ozzy Albies, Ronald Acuna, Donaldson, just because he can hit lefties for his career, although he hasn't done much this year. But those are the 3, and then Adam Duvall, now that he's back with the team, he mashes lefties. So those are the 4 hitters I'll look at a stack if you were stacking the Braves. And even Freeman, you can throw him in there just because he hits both sides decently. But Albie's 371 average against lefties, 6 bombs and just 105 at-bats. Give him a 619 slugging percentage and a 248 ISO. Absolutely mashing lefties this year. And he also did the same thing last season. 47% hard hit rate. Decent fly ball rate. And if you look at this year and last year's numbers against lefties, if you want a bigger sample size, he's batting 345 and over 300 and almost 350 at-bats, batting 345. So that's super impressive with a 220 ISO. I love Albies here. And like I said, Perez has definitely cooled off a little bit. He's not been the same as he was earlier in the year. Maybe that's because the weather started to heat up early in the season when it's cold. You can have some below-average pitchers look better than they are. But Perez was looking pretty good earlier this season, especially with the strikeouts, but that's also gone down. And this Braves team barely strikes out against lefties. So she'll be able to put the ball in play against him. And against righties, he's struggling a lot. 444 slugging given up and a 264 average. And if you look here, after he got off to a respectable start, June his ERA was 5.08. July was 5.32. Slugging in July was 540. Slugging so far in August is at 762. Seems like the Braves are ready to pounce after what they did yesterday. If they can continue that, today's a great spot against Perez, who's struggling. I love Nelson Cruz. Cruz has been the best hitter over the past month, maybe the best hitter in baseball this season, and I'm not afraid to say that. Only player with 2-3 home run games, and those came in a span of 9 games. Whenever he's facing a lefty, you lock in Nelson Cruz. Even though he's expensive, I think it's still a great play, given Fried has struggled against righties, as I will show you. But Cruz, I think he had 2 more home runs yesterday, absolutely mashing the ball. Against lefties, 295 average, 12 home runs and 78 at-bats. Just so much power with him. 500 ISO. 500 ISO against lefties for Cruz. Absolutely insane. 64% hard hit rate. Cruz is insanely good against lefties this year, especially with the power. Want to definitely play him against Fried. Fried is a decent pitcher. He's very young. He's going to get better. But his struggles do come against righties. And Cruz is the best hitter on the team. Best righty hitter, obviously. He's given up a 290 average and a 461 slugging. 2 righties. He's also been worse on the road. Love Nelson Cruz. And last but not least, Yasiel Puig. Going to go back to him. He's now at $4,000. So nice price tag on him. He was at $4,400 the other day, down to $4K. Like him a lot. Batting cleanup against Eduardo. Should get a lot of opportunities to put runners across the plate, get some RBIs, get some hits. He also has a lot of stolen base upside with 16 stolen bases. And he does strike out quite a bit, but Eduardo's not much of a strikeout guy. And he barely gets any swinging strikes. So Puig looks like a great bet today too. So that's what I'm looking at. Love the hitters here. Hopefully Sean Anderson can come through. Don't need much out of him, but I think he can get me at least double digits. And like I said, the Indians are probably one of my favorite teams to stack today. Love the prices. We got Fredmil Reyes at $3,600. Love him. In the outfield, Lindor, Ramirez at very cheap, 41. Kipnis been mashing the ball as of late. Great play at 4,000. And Santana's also very affordable at 4,400. So I like them quite a bit. And this game, I think I'll stack it up, mixing with the Indians. Love Albies, Donaldson, Acuna, Duvall. Those are my top 4. Maybe Camargo if he's in the lineup. He's very cheap. On the Twins, I'm looking at Crone. I love him against lefties. He's only 4,300. I like him, Sano, Polanco, and Cruz. And the Astros, forgot to talk about them. They're also a top stack on the day. They're just all expensive. All the hitters I want are expensive. 56 for Springer. Brantley's okay. Never really played Brantley that much, but he's at 47. It's kind of tough to get to the Astros, in my opinion, on Draftkings. Not getting much of a discount. Maybe if we can get up to Alvarez at 55. If you can do that, that's a decent play. But I think they're a little tough to get to. But that's it for the slate. Those are the picks I like, along with the 4 teams I'm looking at stacking: the Indians, Braves, Twins, and Astros, if we can make it work. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and good luck today.